Good morning. Greetings, fellow mortals. It's 7 a.m. because I'm insane and I like waking up at 5 in the morning, so I've been editing. Usually I get up and I work out, but I'm sore because I did a photo shoot yesterday out in a field in 100-degree weather, and I'm sunburnt and my muscles ache, and that's not what you're watching this video to hear me talk about. Hey, my name's Mads. I have done 6 or so tattoos on myself now. This is the outline of a 8-arrowed star of chaos that I put down in May. The footage speed fluctuates a little bit because I didn't experiment with my lights this time. Someone on Reddit or in my comments or something suggested trying out a headlamp, and so I throw on a headlamp, which in a way did help. I need maybe a better one that fits me better. I'm weird about things on my head. I don't like headphones that go over the top of my head. I don't like things that I have a tender scalp, so the headpiece not only slipped around, but it was just kind of annoying, and I ended up taking it off halfway through. But ultimately the problem was the flashing light for me looking all around, and the automatic settings in my camera made this flash a little bit. So it is what it is. Anyway, so most of the stick and poke tattoos I have done so far in the past have been on my inner leg, which you would think would be easier to reach, but it's just way more uncomfortable to hold yourself in that position, and so it's been a slower process. It was really nice to do this decent-sized piece on my leg, on the outside of my knee, because I was able to feel like I was able to finish the whole lining in one sitting, which has been difficult in other places. Didn't have to stretch quite as much. By the way, I'm using a 12 gauge 9-round liner bug pin. I guess the 12 gauge it's redundant to say 12 gauge and bug pin. I don't know. Most of my needles seem to be labeled bug pin. I don't know why I made the decision to go with that, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not for stick and poke. But yeah, here we are with the headlamp. It was annoying, or maybe I took it off already. I don't even know. Hey, how's it going? God, I love coffee. You like super fall in love with coffee, like the more you have to cut it out of your life, because I have anxiety, and my doctor's like, how much coffee do you drink? And I'm like, too much. And he's like, you need to cut down. And I still drink too much coffee, but it's half of what I used to drink. On a previous video, I had talked about sharps containers. A sharps container is where you put your needles when you're done tattooing. It's the sort of thing that you can drop off at I should look up specifically where in Southern California you can drop off needles, so I can tell you guys in another video. But what I wanted to share with you was someone in my comments mentioned that if you have a thick plastic container, for example, a bleach container or something like that, you can put sharp needles in that and turn that in as a sharps container. You don't have to go out of your way to buy this medical hazard container, as long as it's, not a Coca-Cola bottle, as long as it's thick plastic or something safe that you could hand off to a place that takes needles. You should do that instead of putting your needles in the trash, because needles should not go in the trash ever. Another fun thing, so I started this project 8 months ago, and that was in the winter of Southern California, and now it's the summer. I ended up cutting the footage, but there were 2 or 3 points where I had put that tattoo balm on the back of my left hand, and it just melted off and ran down my leg. And I kept going like, where the hell did my balm go? And you could see it in some of the shots. There's just like this gross run of balm down my leg. So since then, I have stopped putting balm on my hand. There's no air conditioning in my house, so it's kind of one of those things you just adjust to. I don't have AC in my car. I don't have AC in my house. It's fine. Whatever. I got trees. That's what I always tell people. I got trees for shade. Once again, not here to listen to me talk about trees. Other than that, right now I'm using Adobe Rush. This also has nothing to do with tattoos. I'm using Adobe Rush, and I don't like paying for Adobe. But the biggest thing is I'm going to have to find another program to edit photos in, and I'm so heavily dependent on Lightroom presets at this point. and I understand what the presets do. So in theory, I should be able to find a free program and learn how to use them so that Adobe doesn't take $30 out of my bank account every month. But at this point, I'm like doing one last run with Adobe Rush, and I'm like, God, is it worth $10 a month for this program? Because goodness, it is kind of convenient just for like dumb crap like YouTube videos. It really stupid Adobe. Damn you, Adobe. Other than that, I do believe I tear my glove at some point, and I believe I replace it sooner or later. It'll be my right hand on my thumb, and I just want to point out now, this is a YouTube video, and feel free to critique and make mental notes of things you would not do. For example, my hair was like not tied back properly earlier. I have to go through and I have to cut the clips where I'm hitting my vape pen and there's this big cloud of fucking vape because I shouldn't be touching my vape pen. I shouldn't be touching my cell phone to take progress photos, shouldn't be doing stuff like that. But once again, this is amateur hour. So at this point, I'm just trying to openly speak to other stick and poke artists. I'm also kind of thinking about making my vlogs a little bit longer and maybe a little bit more personal, because it sounds like a lot of other people consume YouTube the same way I do. And that's when you just queue up a ton of videos and you sit down and you work on your own project, your homework, your stick and poke, whatever it is you're doing. And it's kind of like a podcast. It's kind of like having a buddy there that's doing some weird niche thing that you're also doing. So I'm presuming at this point forward that I'm mostly talking to fellow home stick and poke artists or fellow home tattooists. If so, hello. If your gloves tear, replace them. Don't be like me. I think what I did is, using this little grip, I put my needle on the wrong way, like specifically where the tear is. I'm like obsessing with it and you guys can't see it yet. Pardon me. I'm like so embarrassed of like being, there it is! I can see the tear! Look at me. Mads, stop what you're doing. Take your right glove off and replace it, because that's not cool. That's not cool. There's people watching you. You're gonna put this on YouTube. You need to be better than this, Mads. Anyways, I will be in the future. I'm learning. But just like how I didn't even notice the balm melting and running down my leg, I took a minute. Probably it wasn't until I got up to stretch to notice that my thumb tore in my glove, and that's gross. Very gross. So for me, if I'm going to talk about my own personal stuff, I know a lot of people are watching these videos for tattooing knowledge, and I have learned a ton. I feel like this particular tattoo went a lot smoother. I really love this brand of ink. And this is now healed a month, so it's going to be getting its shading soon. And I do want to sit down and try to share the knowledge I have about tattooing with you guys more, but I'm giving it just a little bit more time, and that's because what I've started doing in the last month is filling in all these outlines that I've put down, and that's an entirely new learning curve, learning the color packing, learning how to fill in an area or leaving, because so far my filled areas are kind of textured, and I'm okay with that. I think it looks kind of cool, but I still don't have the capacity to color pack an area properly via hand poke, and I'm working my way up to that. I am slow to learn, but I'm proud of myself because I feel like I have a pretty good mastery of lines at this point. Couldn't tell you how many passes I did. I think at this point this is 4 or 5 passes. I think I worked for 5 or 6 hours. That's typically how long I sit down. Another thing I always have to cut out of my videos is the disgusting way I wipe away. I need to wipe more frequently. I'm like trying to save paper towels or something like that. That's not necessary. But blah, 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 blah. There are those super satisfying like wipe away shots where you get to see the tattoo underneath, and sometimes there's just like too much fluid and like black ink runs down my leg and it looks really gross. So I decide to not share them. I hope your guys' tattoos are going good. I'm so thrilled with my leg. You keep waiting to like snap out of it and be like, what have I done? But I am so thrilled with all my tattoos. Before this, I did not have any tattoos that I could see. I've got wings on my shoulder blades and I've got something behind my left ear. And I've felt like I haven't had tattoos, even though I love tattoos so much. So it's so cool to have these. I cannot wait to fill this Chaos Star in. I do have a few things going on now that a lot of Southern California is vaccinated, including myself. I've started doing some prop master stuff again, which is really cool. I'm making props for a music video. I'm also doing some art directing for Grindhouse Productions, which I'm so freaking excited about. They're a really cool group. And we're doing a shoot next week, and I'm really excited. But like I mentioned, I'm really sore and tired. Yesterday, I went out to do a photo shoot out in a dry field, and I just haven't gone out and done that in a long time. I've gone to street meets, which are something we do in Southern California, which are kind of like little bursts of photo shoots, like at your own pace, and you could take it easy and stuff, but like when you go to a real photo shoot, you work hard. I feel like I worked a 9-hour day yesterday, and it was exhausting, and I was driving home, and I had Charlie horses in my feet, and I wanted to scream, and I was like having to drive left-footed, which is also not safe, and you should not do that, and I was also driving barefoot because cramps. Dear God, my kingdom for a foot rub. I need to meditate. Hey guys, how's it going? I feel like a lot of other stick and poke artists might be the sort of brain pattern I am. Can any of you guys meditate? I can only get into it in this flow state. You know, this is the closest thing to meditation I have when I'm focusing on something, but I need to calm my monkey brain so that I can access the flow state easier. Anyways, so like I said, it's been a month. Here, let me show you what it looks like healed. I'm gonna go outside. Look at it. Look at that knee. That's a knee. And you also get a little bit of a teaser for the bits I've colored in. My rat has gotten his shading, his eyes also red, and my float boat got the 80% ink. Before I ran out of time, I went and I started putting the white in, and then I was like, shit, I have D&D in 20 minutes, I have to clean up. So, like sleeve progress, I'm really excited. I will be shading this guy in soon. I kind of wanted to color the chaos in rainbow, but I think I might go purple if anything. Anyways, hail Satan, and rock on! Thank you, goodbye!